All right, so pick your best circle, and we're gonna now transform this flat two-dimensional circle into a three-dimensional sphere, right? So think back to some of those strategies that you guys already knew when we did that pre-assessment, right? Of adding value. So that's what we need to do. But before we can add value,
that's hers.
Amber, you remember what you said before? What do we have to think about before we...
Imagine if there's a lamp above it to see where the light was going.
Right. We need to visualize where that light is coming from to know where to make the circle lighter and where to make it darker, and that will transform it into a sphere. All right? So what I like to do to make that visualization really clear is to actually draw an arrow that represents the sun. If you want to draw a little sun, you can draw that. You can draw a little lamp. But as long as you have something to help that visualization become really tangible, draw a little arrow pointing down at one of your circles. Okay? This arrow represents the light source. So if light is hitting an object, is it going to be lighter or darker closer to the light source?
Lighter.
And what about the back end? Darker. Okay, so we know that. Now, let's apply what we learned from our value scales before we start shading. When we just did our value scales, where did I start? Light, dark, or in the middle?
In the middle.
In the middle. We want to do the same thing on our sphere. What pencil did I start with? HB. So again, same thing. I'm using my HB pencil. I'm going to start in the middle. How am I going to hold my pencil? Good. Amber's showing me. We're using that overhand grip on our pencil. Okay? Now what I want to do, I love the light source. Okay? So I want to hug the light source. Okay? It's kind of goofy, but it will help you remember. So you want to think about, as you're shading, curving your strokes to kind of hug the light source. That will use those curved strokes that Will mentioned earlier that he applied on the pre-assessment drawing, right? Curving the strokes will make it look more three-dimensional. So as I'm shading this, and again, you can rotate your paper to make it more comfortable for you. I'm using the overhand grip and I'm shading in the middle, and I'm really exaggerating this right here, but can you see how I'm curving the strokes around the light source? Okay. If I were to shade and use flat strokes, it wouldn't sell that illusion that I'm trying to create. It would flatten it out and it would just look like a circle with shading in it. It wouldn't look like a sphere. Okay? So you want to shade in the middle, curving the strokes as you go, kind of wrapping those curves around the light source. Okay? Again, just like we did on the value scale, I'm trying to err on the side of being too light because it's very easy to darken it up, but it's much more difficult if we have to get the eraser out and try to lighten up. Okay? So go too light to begin because it's easy to add more value. Okay? I'm going to start doing my shading closer to the light source. So what pencil should I be grabbing now? A B pencil or an H pencil?
H.
An H, right? So you can use your 2H or your 4H. Okay. We're going to draw almost like a little oval where we would envision that light hitting the light source hitting the sphere. And then from that little oval, I'm going to curve, matching those kind of curved pencil strokes I was using at the beginning to meet back into the medium value. I'm overlapping it as I go so it blends smoothly and evenly, just like on our value scale. So some of you guys that had your value scale at the light end too dark, be really careful about keeping this as light as you can. Okay? That overhand grip, the more you can practice that, will really help you from going too dark too quickly. Okay? It's probably hard to see on the TV screen, but I'll pass around my sample after. Okay? As I move further away from my light source, What pencils am I going to need to use now? What, Mark? You said it.
I said B pencil.
The B pencils. Thank you. So as I'm moving away, I'm going to grab my 2B pencil and kind of almost rejoin, kind of overlap what I did in the middle, slightly darkening it up as I move further away. Again, that overhand grip. Sharpen those pencils too. You want nice long lengths of graphite at the end so it doesn't appear scratchy or choppy. Okay, so I'm overlapping what I did in the middle, and as I move further away, I can just transition through all of my B pencils. So I'm going to do my 2B and grab my 4B pencil next. Kind of progressively just darken it up. Again, this is a good chance if your circle looked a little choppy or uneven, you can even it out when you shade it. And then I'm going to finish at the end with that 8B pencil. And if you're trying to make it as dark as you can, use a regular pencil grip so you can really press down and get that value as dark as you can. Okay, so just like we practiced on our value scale, we should see 5 values, but they should blend into each other. So just like we checked with our hand on the value scale, let's check on our sphere. I have very dark, dark, medium, light, and very light. So I have a value for each finger. When I squint at it, it does not look choppy. It looks smooth and gradual. Okay.